The Labour Party is accusing the Tories of creating a backlog Britain by focusing on infighting more than governing.
Well, let's speak to Preet Gill, MP, Shadow Secretary of State for International Development. What do you mean by that, Preet?
All seeing right before us is that the basic functions of government just doesn't seem to be working. I mean, the state that we find the country in is really down to Rishi and Liz. Of course, they are continuity candidates. I mean, only this week, the government, by their own admission, are saying that they're going to miss the NHS targets around waiting lists that they have set for themselves. And of course, we have 6.6 million people now waiting for planned care, highest number on record. And it isn't just hospital delays, it's GP waiting, times, it's dentist appointments, it's the lorry drivers that we've seen at Dover, as you've seen, it's the court backlog, 43% increase in the last 5 years. And this is a government that really hasn't got a grip on it. And I don't think I'm different to any other MP up and down the country. The amount of constituents that have contacted us about delays with passports. I mean, tens of thousands of people having to wait up to 10 weeks for passports. The fact of the matter is, things are just not functioning and working. And all the while, we have two candidates that are trying to appeal to their membership and taking lumps out in each other. So the Conservatives have created backlog Britain because both Rishi and Liz don't actually have a plan as to how they're going to unclog the system, what it is that they're actually going to do. This is making life very difficult for the British public.
Forgive me, but it was the Labour Party and Keir Starmer who were saying the Prime Minister needs to go. This would have been even more chaotic if he'd gone, if he was making big policy decisions in Number 10, despite the fact he is going at the end of the month, you'd be kicking off. So, they can't win, can they, as far as Labour's concerned?
But that's not true. The exit of a prime minister shouldn't mean that the rest of Whitehall is starting to crumble and melt down and actually things are not able to function. Good leadership means that you have policies and processes in place. So regardless of what happens and if there is a change, that will continue. And what we are not seeing is any of that work being done. Who is actually in charge? I think it's quite concerning what we're hearing from the NHS.
Yeah, if I can pick up on that point you're making, the Prime Minister is still in office. He is still running the country until this leadership debate is concluded. And in fairness to the candidates, we've been discussing on this programme in the last week or so plans to try and tackle the problems that have been identified within the civil service, within Whitehall, trying to cut down some of the fat, which is perhaps causing some of those backlogs that you describe.
Well, I don't think the Prime Minister is working. The report says that the Prime Minister has checked out. He's obviously been preparing for his wedding. He's been distracted. Good God, what has he been doing around the lorry, the fact that lorry drivers are having to wait up to 15 hours? What is his plan to address the backlog in the hospital? The University of Hospital of Birmingham, in my constituency, has 160,000 people waiting for planned care. Ambulances are outside of the hospital on a daily basis, finding it very difficult to transfer patients in. These are serious concerns. People are dying. We have a Conservative government that, I'm sorry, isn't actually showing the leadership that the country needs. It's actually more consumed with what the leadership candidates are offering today, as opposed to the state that the country finds itself. And what it needed was proper leadership. And that's exactly what it can expect from the Labour Party. It will get the fresh start that Britain actually deserves.
OK, Preet Gill.